Hey everyone, if you haven't heard yet, Dalera went up in competition against Glamordale this past weekend at the European Championships. I've been waiting so long to see these two top amazing pairs go head to head. I was hoping that we would have seen Glamordale at Omaha at the World Cup, but he didn't come. So this was the first time in a competition that Glamordale has gone head to head with Dalera. And let me know in the comments down below who you thought was going to win. And then we're gonna look at some little videos and talk about who actually won the competition and why. For me personally, I love watching these competitions. I love seeing the horses, seeing the partnership, watching these incredible riders. I mean, their positions are so perfect. Their aids are so subtle, and it's really, really inspiring. It makes me want to go out and ride and work on my position and work on my horses. And that's really what it is about. For me, it's always super important whenever I'm watching a rider, any rider, whether it's these amazing riders or someone at a show, that we watch these riders with admiration and with empathy. We've all been there on a horse where things aren't going well, you're not having a good day, your horse isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so it's always important to just recognize that, you know, even these top riders, we will see they have little bobbles, and that's normal. It happens. It's about recovering, it's about going on, it's about going back to the training, and that's really what it is all about. So to get started, the first thing that I want to talk about is rider position. Both Lottie Fry, who rides Glamordale, and Jessica Van Bredow, who rides Dalera, they have incredible positions. And one thing that I watch when I watch these top competitions is I watch the horses, but I also really focus on the riders. I focus on their seat. What is their seat doing? How are they moving with their horse? I focus on their legs. What are their legs doing? Are their heels down? Can you see when they're giving an aid? Yes, a lot of times you can see them cue their horse with their leg aids, but the art is how subtle can you make those leg aids. And then thirdly is their hands, how quiet their hands are, how soft and steady the contact is, how nice and quiet the horse is in the mouth. And so when I'm watching these riders, I'm really visualizing that and seeing their position, because I find that that really helps me when I go out and I ride my horse the next day, is just to have the picture in my mind of how Jessica looks on Dalera, how Lottie looks on Glamordale. And we all have a lot to work to do. We're a long way from getting there, but having this picture in your mind gives you something to aspire to. The second thing I want to talk about is bobbles. So both Jessica and Glamordale had a few bobbles in their freestyle. So with Jessica and Dalera, they had a little bobble in the one tempi changes. I feel like she started her one tempis just a little big, and then she wasn't able to keep them, and Dalera dropped out of the one tempis. But what was amazing is how quickly she was just able to recollect, get her horse back on the aids, and then start the one tempis again. And I think that that was really cool to see. Number one, that even the best horse in the world makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. But secondly is how quickly she was able to recover, get her horse back on the aids, act like it wasn't a big deal, and keep going with her ride. That is something that we all have to aspire to in our own riding. And then Lottie Fry also had a little bobble with Glamordale. She picked up the wrong lead after her walk. Glamordale picked up the incorrect lead, and she just had to quickly fix it and then go on with her ride. And so even like, so the results, I'm sure you know the results by now, but Jessica came in first, Lottie on Glamordale came in second, and they both had little bobbles. And that's just part of riding at this level, is that you are going to have bobbles, and you just have to recover and keep going as quickly as possible. Third thing on my list that I wanted to talk a little bit about is some of the factors that went into the results. So for me, I was kind of thinking that Glamordale would win, to be honest, but I also understand why he came in second to Dalera. And a couple of factors I think went into this. One is the heat. It was incredibly hot. Some of the horses, when I was watching in the special, like Isabel Worst's horse, you could just see the sweat like just dripping off of her horse in her test. So the horses weren't really used to that heat. And I think especially a big black stallion like Glamordale, that does affect him more than maybe Dalera, although Dalera is big too. So I think the heat was a factor. I think also with Glamordale, he was breeding a lot this season. That's why they said he didn't come to Omaha, is because he was busy at home making more Glamordales. And that does affect you. You know, when you're not kind of in the game and you haven't shown for a few months, you can feel a little bit rusty kind of going out the first time, getting to know your horse again. And then one thing that's really true with horses is some days are good days and some days are bad days. I know if you ride, you felt that way. Sometimes you go out and just all the stars are aligned, everything happens really easily and nicely. Some days, for whatever reason, like you're not feeling great, your horse isn't feeling great, and the stars just don't perfectly align. So to me, I think the biggest differences between Dalera and Glamordale at this competition, one was that Dalera just looked a lot more willing and in front of the leg. Like in her piaffe, Jessica just had her heels down. It looked like Dalera was so just wanting to perform, wanting to do it. Glamordale looked like he was a bit more affected with the heat. The second thing is the piaffe. And so in the Grand Prix, the piaffe is a very big part of your score. It's a very expensive movement. And you could see that Lottie, because Glamordale was a little more behind her legs, she had more trouble getting the piaffe to be on the spot. So she had to let the piaffe kind of cover a little bit more ground so that she could keep the rhythm and keep the activity, which was smart. But I'll show you a clip. So I'll show you a little clip of Glamordale's freestyle this weekend, the piaffe, and then I'll show you a clip from a couple of months ago. The piaffe is, so this is a little clip of Glamordale doing the piaffe in his freestyle a few months ago, and you could see how it had more activity. She was able to put it more on the spot. But again, I think the heat was a factor, and every horse has their strengths and their weaknesses. So the piaffe is not Glamordale's strength. He's more strong with like the extended gaits, right? Glamordale's extended canter is just amazing, and his flying changes are amazing. So it's easier for Glamordale to extend than it is to collect. And finding a horse that can do both those things, that can really collect and be on the spot, but also extend, that is the trick, and that is the hard part. But the other reason that I think Dalera came out a little bit ahead was just the harmony between Jessica and Dalera. You know, the aids look so soft, so invisible. The contact was so soft. And that is one thing that the judges really reward, is they want to see this harmony between horse and rider. Not saying that Lottie didn't have that, because I wish I could ride like either one of these, or seriously anyone in the entire competition. But definitely it was just a notch higher with Dalera. And again, you know, I'm just nitpicking. I'm not a judge. Honestly, watching both of these rides left me so inspired to go out and to do better and to work on my position and to work on the connection with my horse and work on the subtleness of the aids. And I just admire all of the competitors that are out there, that are trying, that are working at it, because it's not easy. It's not easy to have the pressure of going out there and competing in an international event like this. And it's inspiring to all of us to be able to watch them and to learn from them. The last thing I want to talk about is Charlotte Dujardin and her new horse, Emotep. They came in third in the freestyle. And again, I just think Charlotte Dujardin is such an amazing rider. She has produced, I think this is like her fourth Grand Prix international horse, because she had Vallegro, then she had Freestyle, then she had Geo, and now she's got Emotep. And Emotep is younger and more green to this level than Glamordale or Dalera, but is amazing. The piaffe passage is so good. Charlotte's heels are down, her body's quiet, her position is amazing. The partnership that she has with this horse is just amazing, and he's really, really an exciting horse for the future. So I'm so excited and happy for Charlotte. She just had a baby like in February, so she's got a new baby, a new up-and-coming Grand Prix horse, and I'm just so excited and happy for her and for all of these riders. So let me know in the comments if you have any other thoughts that you want to share. And I'm feeling really inspired to go ride my horses after watching this competition last weekend. And I will link below where you can watch as many of the full tests as I can find that are free online. I also definitely recommend that you join Clip My Horse. That's where I watch like all the competitions, and you can see like the full schedule and everything. But it's always exciting. You never know who's gonna win, and I think that's the beauty of horses is, you know, you can always come from behind and end up having a really good day, a really good ride, and that's what keeps us going. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. I post a new video every single Wednesday to help you with your riding, and thanks for being here.